Hello, and welcome back to Tribal Prep Data Collection Training for Facilitators. Let's continue learning about data collection in Step 4, Post-Program Data Collection. The surveys that we collect in this step will help us assess what students have learned throughout programming. This is the last step and perhaps the shortest video. So you'll probably collect data after all your lessons are completed. This means at the last lesson of your curriculum, or if you're having a party or a celebration in the last class, then maybe the second to last class. But you want to be sure you've taught all your lessons before you do post-program data collection. If you are teaching Circle of Life, you will be collecting one survey, the exit survey. If you are teaching Discovery Dating, you'll be collecting two surveys, the exit survey and the behavioral identification form. These are pretty much the same surveys that you collected at pre-program data collection, and we'll talk about what some of the differences are. So at this time, you can grab your Tribal Prep Data Collection Protocol for Facilitators packet, navigate to Step 4, and meet me at the next slide. So post-program data collection is almost identical to the pre-program data collection, or Step 2. So Step 4 is almost identical to Step 2. So what's different? Well, we're not asking students to fill out a student information form because we already have that information. And instead of collecting an entry survey, we're going to ask students to fill out an exit survey. And that exit survey is in your binder under the tab Post-Program Surveys. It will be a different color than the entry survey, but other than that, it might look pretty similar to you. The exit survey has more questions than the entry survey, and some of the questions are more sensitive. So if you've navigated to Step 4 in your facilitator packet, you'll see a page that looks very similar to the one here on the screen. The steps are essentially identical, so we won't go through them again. So you can just read through the steps, use the prompts, and have students fill out the surveys as you go along, or survey if you're teaching Circle of Life. So I wanted to give you an example of how some of the questions are different from the entry and exit surveys. So this is the same question. It's just question 17 in the entry and question 11 in the exit, but both are trying to get at what students have learned either in the program or what was their knowledge prior to joining the program. So you can see question 17 from the entry survey has 5 questions, and question 11 from the exit survey has a lot more questions. And some of these questions we did not include in the entry survey, and that's because we didn't want to expose children or youth to topics that they might not have known about yet. We wanted to wait until that happened within programming and then ask them about it at the post-test. So that's one of the ways in which the entry and exit surveys differ. Now, because they differ, I really recommend that you read through all the surveys, both at post-program data collection and pre-program data collection, so that you're not taken off guard or surprised by some of the questions as you read them to your class. Okay, so once you've had students fill out the surveys, put them in their manila envelopes, then you can send the surveys to us here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And at this time, I should note that you probably have noticed that you have a bunch of manila envelopes for pre-program data collection, but you don't have your post-program data collection manila envelopes yet. So we are going to send you those that contain the post-program surveys in a couple weeks. So just stay tuned for those. We'll be asking for your address if we haven't already. So after you sent us the surveys in the USPS prepaid box we gave you, you will fill out the narrative form in REDCap, and that's gone over in Step 3, Video 3. And you'll report attendance and upload the Excel sheet to REDCap. That's also talked about in step 3, video 3. Then you're finished. Congratulations, you've completed data collection. And we really appreciate you following along with us in these videos and reading through the materials we've provided. We hope that it was easy for you and that you were able to focus on programming.